here, and what I want to demonstrate in this video is teaching your dog to put their face into the muzzle, as well as being a little bit more comfortable, making the experience for the dog more positive, and that way when I put a muzzle on a dog, it's not something stressful on top of an already stressful situation. So Andy's passed these first couple steps, but what I do to start off a dog, I'm going to take some of my treats. You can use dog food if they have enough dry food, dog food. If they don't have a lot of dry, you can use high value stuff like chicken or dog treats, whatever is motivating for the dog. So I'm going to take a couple treats and load it in the bottom. This type of muzzle, it's a Jeffco muzzle. I like it because they come in clear and see-through, so that way I can still see the dog's facial expressions. This one has a training treat hole at the front, so that way I can feed treats into the muzzle from the front as well. We're getting freebies today. So start with my treats in there. I can also have some here as well. And I want the dog to be the one to put their face into the muzzle. So I'm just going to present it. I can add in treats, and then what I like to do before they're done eating, I like to take the muzzle away from them. And that way I build a little bit of drive for that they want more, like, hey, give it back to me, I wasn't done with it. So again, I can start a couple treats, and you see Andy's had a couple sessions, so he's like, put it back down. I can also add motion and start backing up, and that way he has to push into the muzzle a little bit to continue to eat the food. And I'm going to take it away before he's done. And that way I get dogs who are really pushing their face into that muzzle and making it easy. This takes several sessions for most dogs to start getting comfortable with it. Eventually I'm going to start doing the exact same thing, but now it's not loaded with food to start with. I'm just going to have an empty muzzle, and then I'm going to take my food and feed it into him for duration. And I'll start to build a little bit of duration for this. You can start at 60 or 30 seconds and build up longer. When I first start this, I typically do as short as 5 seconds, but I may do longer with 15 or 20 seconds. Andy's been doing this for a couple of sessions, so he's getting a lot more comfortable with it, so I could do longer if I wanted to. But that looks like this. Then I take it away. Once we're doing good there, the dog's comfortably staying with their face in the muzzle, I'm going to preload treats for this next step, and that way he's occupied here while I take my straps and mess with them behind his head. So I'm not fully buckling, but I just want to hold it there, and then I'll take it off. But I just want to get him used to, while your face is in the muzzle, I can reach behind you. I may mess with some straps. It's not a big deal. And I'll take it away. If the dog is comfortable with that, now we're going to start working on actually buckling the straps. So again, I'm still preloading the treats, that way he's occupied there while I go ahead and put on the strap. And this is when I start to build a little bit of duration. I know you're looking down. He's looking for the other treats. And then I'll unstrap and take it off. That duration when I first start is typically a lot shorter. Now I do have this leash here for a reason. This happens about this step once I start buckling it, or once I start getting the dog to move with the muzzle on. A lot of dogs, as they start to try and move, they're going to try and take that muzzle off of their face. So the leash is here so that way I can use it to help interrupt that behavior and stop him. So once they're comfortable having their face in there, building a little bit of duration with the buckle on, now we start where we start having him move. And for some dogs, this can definitely be the hardest part. So for Andy, this is pretty hard for him that we've just started with like 1 or 2 steps. Good boy. Good boy. Here. Good boy. Good. Then I'm going to unstrap, take it off. And then I'm going to repeat that over and over. Now for Andy, some of our sessions were as short as 2 or 3 reps. If he does really well with something new and stay relaxed, wasn't having a problem, a lot of times I'd end after 2 reps or so and then just start again on our next session. So when I say doing a session, it doesn't mean I have to sit here for 10 or 15 reps. A lot of times this is actually really short reps for some of the stuff, especially when I start first strapping that on. The dog's doing really well or doing really well with steps and movement. Sometimes shorter reps in a session can be more beneficial than doing longer reps where the dog starts to get over it. When I'm working on this, my goal is to build up where I can have them just walk comfortably with me in the house. They're relaxed for the most part for a couple minutes at a time, and then we start going for walks to build up longer durations. So there is kind of the basics of introducing the muzzle to your dog with Andy as our example.